All right, should be live. Let's get it. Little early morning stream, 4-hour week 9. And once we get some people in here, I got a question I need to ask you guys, and it might lead to a live trade. A live trade, that's right. Let me see what I can do here. There we go. All right, we'll go back to that in a second. What is this? Oh, yeah, we live. We live. Yep, sure are. All right, what am I doing here? Let me open everything back up. Get everything situated. It's a friendly reminder, trade deadlines in most fantasy football leagues are going to be November 30th. Is it 30th or 31st? 30th. 30th at noon, I think. Or at least that's when ours are. So just keep an eye out for that. Get your last trades in. I've done so many trades this year. We can run through them. We can run through all the trades that I've done this year, but it honestly, it would be a long ass stream if we did that. I have so many trades. And I think I'm at a spot that I really like. Like I've traded up the entire year. But sometimes it's not about players. Sometimes it's just about who shows up that week. So even if you trade for the dream team that, you know, you trade for the perfect lineup that you would select out of all players, you still could lose. I'm 3-5 right now with the roster of Jalen Hurts, Austin Eckler, Kenneth Walker, DeAndre Swift, Jonathan Taylor, Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams, Josh Palmer, Marquise Brown, CeeDee Lamb, Higbee, Freiermuth, and I'm 3-5. So it really doesn't matter what your lineup is to a certain degree. But let me see if I can pull up. What am I trying to pull up here? This should be it. Yeah, right here. I'm trying to make a trade with Sticky Boners. Sticky Boners. I believe. Do we know if Devontae Adams is playing this week? I think he is. Let me go to Twitter. Antonio Brown's new profile pic on Twitter is Kyrie Irving. What a troll. All right, let me see. Let's search Devontae Adams right off the bat. Actually, we'll go through news on Underdog Fantasy too here in a second. Devontae Adams. I think that's how you spell it. Latest. Devontae Adams. Kenneth Walker's my RB1. Hopkins. Okay. Money, I'm here to gamble. NFL parlay. Let's see. Offer marquee matchup. Devontae Adams, 152 touchdowns. How much are they have to drop? All right, let me see if it's on ESPN Fantasy. Right now, Fantasy Pros has Devontae Adams marked as unknown, but I'm pretty sure he's logged to practice since he's been ill. Need 2 in full PPR. Swift, Patterson, Herbert, Deion Jackson. Herbert. You mean Khalil Herbert? That's tough. I would say Deion Jackson is an easy play out of those 4. That's the first like solid pick you want to go for, just because it's the only one here that's fully healthy / has a starting role. And I think personally, I would do Swift. I think I'd be most comfortable doing Deion Jackson and Swift, which is honestly in one of my leagues that I'm actually going to talk about here in a second. That was my decision, was DeAndre Swift and Deion Jackson or Josh Palmer. I had to pick 2 between Josh Palmer, Deion Jackson, and DeAndre Swift. And I ended up benching DeAndre Swift just because I'm nervous about his injury. He's still going to have the possibility to fall into the end zone just because of how skilled he is. Kind of like last week. Like I think it's very similar to what you saw last week, where he doesn't get a whole lot of touches on the ground. All of his work is through the air, and he has potential upside for a touchdown. But Patterson and Herbert, I'm a little bit nervous about. I think Patterson is I think that's the last person I would play, just because we haven't seen him in like 6 weeks. So I would be nervous to roll him out there the first week, even though it's a decent matchup on a running first offense. Herbert is someone that I would like to stash though. Like I've stashed Herbert in a few of my leagues just because I think I think it, like, to the eye test, Khalil Herbert should take over that starting role on a run-heavy offense. So I love Herbert rest of the season. This week, though, I still think it's Montgomery, and Herbert gets no work out of the passing game. So I think the best thing to do in a full PPR is Swift and Deion Jackson. And I'm pretty confident going with that. All right, let's pull up Devontae Adams. Make sure. Add players. No, not add players. Let's go Devontae Adams. Yeah, it's looking like he's going to play. No news on here, though. Standard. Gabe Davis, Sun God. Let's try and know what that means. Amon-Ra St. Okay. I got you. All right. Gabe Davis, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Swift, Jamal Williams need one wide receiver and one flex. Also, I have Pitts to replace Andrews. Should I pick up Likely instead? I am in the same exact situation in my serious league if I want to start Pitts or Likely. Being that you have Andrews, I honestly think what I would do is pick up Likely and then do a game time decision. If Andrews is playing, obviously you're going to play him. If if Andrews is sitting, then Likely. The only reason I can't do that is because I don't have Andrews, and I don't want to risk Andrews being a last minute start and not being able to start Andrews. So in my situation, I'm doing Pitts because I don't have Andrews. But since you have Andrews, I honestly would prefer Likely if you have someone on your bench that you're okay with dropping over Pitts. I like that a little bit more. But you need a wide receiver and a flex. I think your wide receiver is obviously Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sun God. That's your wide receiver. You can lock into your wide receiver position. And honestly, your flex. Who are the Bills playing? Let's see if it's going to be competitive at all. For some reason, I don't think it's going to be, if I remember correctly. Yeah, Jets. Although Bills don't let up. It's really if you need a ceiling. If you need the ceiling, then you're going Gabe Davis just because he can offer more points than Jamal Williams and Swift. But if you need a reliable floor, to be honest with you, I think I go Jamal Williams here. Man. Yeah, I still think I do it. The only hesitation here is that you have a bunch of Lions players, and I definitely want to jam Amon-Ra into your lineup. That's where the issue is. Swift is my last choice coming off this injury. I was just talking to Jacob about this, where I'm not confident starting Swift, and I can prove it to you because I'm benching Swift under Josh Palmer this week. That's a decision I made for one of my leagues. I think your highest ceiling is going Amon-Ra and Gabe Davis, though, as both your wide receiver and flex. But if you do need a floor, I think Jamal Williams offers the most reliable floor over Gabe Davis, and then Amon-Ra still. Even though it's doubling up on the Detroit Lions offense with CJ Hawkinson gone, I think those are pretty much the running back position, and Amon-Ra is the only two offensive weapons in that offensive scheme, and what should be a high-scoring game. So floor, Amon-Ra and Jamal Williams. Ceiling, Gabe Davis and Amon-Ra. Amon-Ra is an easy pick, though. I got a question. How many viewers? We got one. I'm going to wait till a few more people trickle in here, and then we'll ask the question. And we'll do a live trade, potentially. Josh Allen, for sure, first round. My best team has Geno and starting quarterback. Yeah. We got some comments coming in here from TikTok as well. I was thinking the same. Appreciate it, sir. Subscribe. Hey, man, I appreciate it. Hey. Did you just subscribe or have you been subscribed? And the only reason I'm asking is because I have an alert box that should come up. I'm just not getting notified if you did just subscribe. Let me know. Trying to be a professional streamer here. Trying to get all the alerts and just subscribe. Maybe it's delayed. We'll have to wait and see. Let's see if I can refresh. Oh. Okay. That was someone else. Maybe we have to wait. Hey, I appreciate it, hey. All right. I'm going to go ahead and ask you this while you're in here because I need some trade advice. The trade that I have right now available to me is going to be, okay, so let me pull up my team. Because you have to know the context of the team here. Let me pull it up. Whoa. All right. So this is my team. We have Jalen Hurts, also all alerts. What do you mean? Wait, why is this? Wait, this isn't updating on here either. Something's wrong with my Streamlab. These live chats should be coming through the Streamlab. I'm assuming you guys can't see that either. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it's looking like our latency is something's going on with it. I clicked the bell and went all notifications. Yes, sir. Shout out to you, Jay. I appreciate that. I wish I could give this little notification for you. I don't know what's going on with my we're all at the mercy of technology. For real. I mean, I'm still learning this. The program I use is called Streamlabs, and it definitely has its quirks and issues, I've read. I mean, it's really nice, like it's a nice interface, but still something we're trying to work through. But anyways, if we look at my team right here on screen, we have Jalen Hurts, Austin Eckler, Kenneth Walker, Devontae, Justin Jefferson, Higbee, Palmer, Jackson, Swift, CD, Jonathan Taylor, etc. The trade that I have available to me right now is trading Swift and CD Lamb for Travis Kelce and Chris Godwin rest of the season, which I think I'm going to take, to be honest with you, because having one of the two dominant tight ends, I think you kind of have to do. I don't like giving up Swift right now because I think he does pop off during the playoffs, to be honest with you, but I'm 3-5. Look at this team right now and tell me why 3-5 makes sense. I don't know how it makes sense, but I basically, now that I'm 3-5, I have to win. And I think that Kelce and Godwin over Higbee and Josh Palmer for this week, I think is what is pushing the needle towards doing the trade. We do have Kadarius Toney coming in the later part of the season, which could take away from Travis Kelce's production, but I don't think it's ever going to take away enough to not have him as a top tier. One and the same for what? I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know how I ended up with this team. Oh, you have a good team with a bad record too? I think this year has just been like ridiculous. Like the scoring's been low. The players that have been scoring has been like not your typical players. It is very weird. Like good teams are, I mean, I don't know how much better of a team I can have, to be honest with you, and I'm 3-5. So here, I'll show you right here. 3-5. Thank God I don't have anyone coming up that's... Some of these team names in my league are ridiculous, but... Yeah, so I'm 3-5 with that team, but I think I'm going to do the Travis Kelce trade. What do you think? The guy is texting me right now, asking if I'm doing it or not. All right. Jay Hay says, I would take Kelce. Excuse me. I would take Kelce. You set yourself apart with the tight end. You have quality wide receivers to replace Lamb. Also, I'm out on Swift given his injury concerns. So if you can deal with him and get a decent return, take it. All right. I'm going to do this trade live for Jay Hay right now. Here it is. Travis Kelce, Godwin. I'm giving up Higbee too, but I don't need Higbee. I think Freiermuth is better than Higbee anyways. So I kind of count that as a scratch. If I have Kelce, I don't need 3 tight ends. But We're going to take Jay Hay's word for it, the newest subscriber to the channel. We're going to go through. This is very nerve-wracking, I will say. What does this say? It says we're winning the trade. We have the Fantasy Pros analyzer here. If you're not familiar with the Fantasy Pros tools, they're awesome. He says, damn, man, you're getting Godwin. I know, bro. Like, if you look at the touchdown efficiency that Godwin has had, it's been 0 with 10, 6, 12, 13, 11 targets. I honestly think Godwin might outperform CeeDee Lamb rest of the season. It's possible that the Dallas Cowboys get OBJ. All right. Gotta hide this real quick. All right, we're doing this for you, Jay Hay. If you subscribe to this channel, you call the shots on my teams. That's the rule I just made up for Jay Hay. And there it is. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. All right. And I'm the league. I am the league. What's it called? League manager. So let me go ahead through. Trade review. Oh, man. This is nerve-wracking. I guess it's already done, though, huh? Uphold the trade. Done. So now, if we look at our team. Oh my God, Jay Hay. If I don't even make the playoffs with this team, I quit fantasy football forever. All right, so now here's the question. We're obviously putting Godwin in here, but do we start Palmer or do we start Deion Jackson? Because I'm kind of leaning Palmer with Keenan Allen out. I think Keenan Allen's definitely out. Can we get some news on that? Let's see. We'll get this out of the way and see if Underdog's got any news for us. Isaiah Likely in line to start tight end. That was you asking about Likely, right? Or no, that was you, yeah. Yeah, so it looks like he is starting 7 minutes ago. Likely is expected to serve as Baltimore's top tight end on Monday night's game. Listed as doubtful for the contest. Stepped in, had 19 points, full PPR last time he played. And you got to remember that there's no Bateman either. I'm a Ravens fan, and there's no Bateman. Demarcus Robinson is questionable. Mark Andrews is out. Our running back, Gus Edwards, is out. It's got to be Likely. Palmer with Keenan Allen out. No Mike Williams, and their fourth option is questionable. Carter. Is DeAndre Carter questionable too? Expected to be active. That's kind of ass. DeAndre Swift expected to play a limited role. I don't want a part of that. A part of that. Do we have Keenan Allen news? Let's see if we have it on here. And I can't show it because he's on a team that has a disgusting. I mean, I think it's funny, but YouTube would not think his name is funny. He's the last in our league. Keenan Allen is out. Okay, so it is official then. Allen hamstring has been ruled out of Sunday's game. Okay. Against the worst pass defense in the entire league. So I think, again, for the however many time today, we are going to take Jay Hay 514's suggestion, and we're going to throw in Josh Palmer over Deion Jackson. Now, I hope you realize, Jay, that if this doesn't work out, you're banned. Okay? Congrats. Now come back for the win. Palmer, Keenan Allen. At least he was yesterday, I believe. Yeah, you're right. Yep. I'm surprised. Honestly, I'm surprised they already ruled him completely out, which is kind of crazy. Because now with Allen and Mike Williams out, we have the entire Chargers offense versus the Atlanta Falcons, which I love. Palmer and Austin Eckler get every single touch in that entire game against a bad offense. Walker is honestly the guy I'm most concerned about here, if I think about it, or my defense, but I can show you my matchup real quick before we move on. But while I'm pulling this up, Jay Hay, DeAndre Carter is questionable. Okay. I wonder what that is all about. Because I don't even know who else they have. They have Paramount. I guess Gerald Everett's going to have a big game too. That's highly likely. We're playing against my Balzac Ertz. And this is what it's looking like. So we had Hurts with a quiet game here, only 20 points, but that's okay. Eckler versus Mixon. We have Walker versus Montgomery. Adams versus the 16 points that Brown put up. Juju versus Jefferson. Kelsey versus Ertz. Boyd versus Palmer. Godwin versus Hardman. Vikings at Washington versus Packers. And just for everyone watching, this team was brought to you by going hard on the waiver wires. This is a legitimate 10-team league. It's not 12. This team would be even crazier in a 12-team league. But this is a 10-team league where I just was super active on the waiver, and I just leveraged all the people that I picked up and I packaged them with players that I already had to get players like Justin Jefferson, Adams. I think the only people that I drafted are Hurts and Eckler on my team still. Everyone else I got through trades and buying low. And this is another one right here. I'm investing in Deshaun Watson, so 2 weeks from now, I sell him to a team that has a shitty quarterback, pair him with Chris Godwin, and get Diggs or something. I don't know. But now that we have some people in here, just to let you guys in on what just happened for my league, we just traded away DeAndre Swift, Higbee, and CeeDee Lamb for Chris Godwin and Travis Kelce. Let me know in the chat if you think that's a dub or an L. Jay Hay says, man, you should see my league. I'm 3-5, 2 losses by less than a point. Oh, man. Entire division other than me is 4-4. That is so rough. That is so rough, bro. And that's how it's been going for me, too. Like, we're point magnets. Whoever's playing against us just scores the highest amount of points they've scored all year. But while we're chatting, we're going to get into... I guess we could do this if you guys are feeling it. We'll do a Battle Royale, Week 9. I think I have a special pick'em this week, too, with... Yeah, right here. Derrick Henry, half a yard. So we're going to do a 5-leg parlay with that later on in the stream. But for now, we'll do one of these Battle Royale, which is basically just a normal a normal Best Ball Mania if you're familiar with pre-draft or preseason drafts. But it's just for this week, so there's less players. So we'll get into one of those while we're talking. And these are always kind of like, you're always just thrown into it. Usually the timers don't work out for me. But I think I've got to go with Austin Eckler here as my first pick. Got to. Got to go. Good luck with the team, brother. I'll be back around in the future. Keep up with the great... Hey, I appreciate it, Jay. Hey, Tuesdays and Wednesdays we release ranking, and then every Sunday before football we do this. So I appreciate you stopping by and checking it out. Travis Unlimited asks Gabe Davis or Josh Palmer. If you need a ceiling, go Gabe Davis. If you're playing against a team that you think is going to put up a lot of points and you're needing every point possible, go with Gabe Davis. But I think your higher floor is definitely Josh Palmer. He's going to be, we were just showing we're playing him in our league, but he's going to be someone that, it's their only receiver. Allen is officially ruled out. Obviously, Mike Williams is out. And they're going up against the worst passing defense in the entire league. So even though the name of Gabe Davis sounds more comfortable, I think your higher floor is Josh Palmer. I think Josh Palmer guarantees you 10, but Gabe Davis is going to give you access to a 40-point ceiling. So it just depends what you're looking for. But the more comfortable play is definitely Josh Palmer. I'm getting texted from the guy that we just made that trade for, the Travis Kelce and Chris Godwin one. Pleasure doing business. My favorite thing ever is doing a trade and then sending the handshake emoji. So professional. Just young professionals. Handshake. Here we go. That's how every trade should be done. Pleasure doing business. Good morning, man. Swift or Deion Jackson? I've got to go Deion Jackson. Got to go Deion Jackson. And here, well, I guess I already did the trade, but I already decided in the league that I just made I just traded away Swift and CD for Travis Kelce and Godwin. But before I made that trade like 10 minutes ago, I was starting Deion Jackson over Swift. I'm just... Your floor with DeAndre Swift this week, with him being in a limited role after a full week of like limited practice, your floor is basically zero. Like if you look at last week, if he didn't fall into the end zone, I think you would have gotten like 6 points on the week, which is really hard to come back from. So so I think I'd have to go Deion Jackson. Should we go Waddle stack right now? No, we got to go Devontae. We got to capitalize on the lower price. And I think we go with Tua next. Tua or Kyler, actually. Oh, because we have a back-to-back pick. We might be able to get... Ramondre versus Indy. Pretty sure Indy's run defense is really good, though. I don't know if I want to do that. Josh Jacobs, T. Higgins, Amon-Ra, Kyler. I think we have a huge bounce back from Amon-Ra. The sun god is what I was told. Hey, no problem, Calvo. If you subscribe, usually there's an alert. So if you guys subscribed and you didn't get an alert, that's my fault. I don't know how to refresh this. Looking for the old alert box settings. No, advanced. Yeah, I don't know. YouTube, merge, subscribe. This subscribe should show up. But anyways, my fault if you subscribed and you didn't get the notification. Eckler, Devontae Adams. All right, I always forget how many players are starting here. We have 1 quarterback, 2 wide receivers, 1 running back, 1 flex, and 1 tight end. So we don't have to get another. Running back here. We're open to 1 more running back or wide receiver, and then quarterback and flex. So if we get Kenneth Walker falling to us, we'll definitely take him. And I honestly would love to go Justin Herbert as my quarterback here as well. Justin Herbert, Gerald Everett stack might be what I'm trying to go for at this turn. Oh, no, we already have Austin Eckler. I don't know if I want to double stack like that. I might do Zach Ertz in Seattle for my tight end. And honestly, I'm not worried about my flex. Like, there's so many good players down here that I could scoop like in the last round. Jamal Williams, Christian Kirk, Gibson. Like any of these guys could pop off. Even Garrett Wilson with no one else available in that offense. All right, let me hit these draft picks real quick, Dole. I think, Dole, I'm looking at Justin Herbert stacking with Austin Eckler here. What do you think? I don't think I want to go running back in my flex, though. I'm pretty sure the guy I traded CD to only wanted CD so he could trade it or change his name. I'll have to look what he changed his name to. But I guarantee it's CD's nuts. I could pretty much guarantee that. All right, let's go Tua versus Chicago. Let's go Justin Herbert here. I don't think I want Joe Mixon as my flex, though, either. I think I'm going to go Zach Ertz and Justin Herbert for the turn. And then we'll just need our flex after that. So we have Justin Herbert stacked with Austin Eckler versus the worst defense in the league. So gotta love that. Devontae Adams, get right game. Amon-Ra St. Brown, get right game. Like, I love having the chip on the shoulder plays here. And then Zach Ertz versus Seattle is a good play. I can't do Kyle Pitts. Can't do it. But the question is, so we'll go ahead and do Zach Ertz here. The question is at pick, what's our last pick? 35. Who do we want to go with? Fournette versus the Rams isn't bad. Let's see. I think I want to do a wide receiver, to be honest with you. Pittman is this low? My God. That's depressing. Pittman, DeAndre Carter, Isaiah McKenzie, Zay Jones. Yeah, this is getting ugly. Okay. We'll see if we have anyone, like, really good falling to us. Like, I would like Tyler Boyd. I think that's a good play. Honestly, Josh Palmer's a good play. Tyler Lockett's a good play. All right, my bad, Dole. What is going on? 808 Dole says, got some fancy questions. Murray or Carr? Also in my flex full PPR, do I go Lockett, Juju, or Godwin? Definitely Godwin, in my opinion. I think that's your highest floor and your highest ceiling. And then Murray or Carr, I got to go Murray, especially against Seattle. I know they're actually, what you got to remember is that Seattle's defense is actually a lot better than people think through the air. So if we go to full PPR, ESPN, Seattle's all the way up here. But Kyler Murray can do more than he can run too, and I just can't pick Carr. I would have to go Murray. All right, who do we have available? We have Dante Foreman, DJ Moore, Leonard Fournette. All right, should we go Leonard Fournette or DJ Moore? Answer quick in the chat. DJ Moore or Leonard Fournette for our last pick? We're going Leonard Fournette, looks like. Late. All right, Dan's answer to Dole's question was Murray 100%. I've been all in on Juju all year, and he is catching fire. I'm expecting top 15 rest of the season. Godwin is higher floor versus Juju, but either is fine. Juju has crushed it the last 2 weeks. Double the points of others. More no contest. You have Eckler and play one running back, Leonard. All right, so we were split with Leonard and Moore. That makes me feel a little bit better, but I just have a hard time going Moore. Even though he dropped 27 for me last week. But yeah, I agree with Dan. I mean, you could definitely play Juju in that situation too, Dole. But I have been so... I mean, if you watch the channel at all, I've been so low on Juju. I know he's had some good weeks. Let's see what his finishes have been. If we go over here, I'm actually playing Juju this week, and I have Godwin, so I might be a little biased as well. 22 and 25, actually. I didn't realize he had another big game last week, but we do have Kadarius Toney playing this week. It's against Tennessee, which is a great matchup. If we look here, Tennessee is one of the best matchups you can ask for. So yeah, I mean, you could go Juju, and if you want to argue that Juju has a higher ceiling, I'm okay with that. I still think that Godwin has the higher floor and the higher ceiling, but again, if you look at the situation that my serious league is in, I have Godwin, they have Juju, so I might be a little biased too. Might be a little biased. All right, should we do pick'ems or should we do another draft? Is there something else on here too we could play? Told you preseason Juju was going to win so much money, LOL, and he's right there and poised for it. You and who else was like that too? Chris Davis. He's a big Juju guy. It's one of those things where I'm biased. I think that Toney is the real wide receiver in Kansas City now going forward, and I think that Juju's going to be the third option behind Kelsey and Toney eventually, not this week. And I think that Godwin has been underperforming based off of the touches that he's had, so that's where I'm at. But again, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. We both have him highest share this year on Underdog. Yeah, Chris Davis had his share was disgusting. I think it was like I don't even have a player above 30%. And I think Chris had 70% Juju or something crazy. Kelsey and Godwin is a safe play. I don't know how I feel about Swift right now. Jamal Williams might be steal goal line work. I'm 60 plus percent on Juju. Oh my God, bro. That is crazy. So you went into every single draft trying to grab him. What are the other players that you have that are your top exposure? I can show you what mine is, I think. Active. Let's see. Live, best ball. Is it best ball? Live, results. Where do I see NFL exposure? Here we go. Oh, I have Julio 37%. These are my late round picks for sure. Breece Hall, rip. Oh my God, that's so sad. Actually, this isn't... This is super flex. Yeah, this isn't right. Exposure. Here we go. This is what I'm looking for. Here we go. Yeah. See, my highest exposure is Robert Tonyan at 21. Christian Watson. I have a really high exposure on John Mechie, too, which is sad. Next at like 57% with Khalil Herbert. Bro, I have Penny and Mitchell on so many rosters. Yeah, that's my Will Fuller. That's my, look, $126 in Will Fuller. Cam Akers, Rip. Who else is a Rip? Alberto is a Rip. Isaiah Spiller's a Rip. Najee Harris, John Mechie. But then you have players that are not rips. Like, I mean, even Christian Watson and Michael Gallup are still possible that they have a good second half of the season. Lamar, I like having a bunch of. James Robinson, for as late as you got him, is actually a pretty nice pick. Stephon Diggs. Josh Jacobs, you gotta love that when you're getting him in the 5th or 6th and 7th round, I believe. So, win some, you lose some, I guess. It's usually one or the other, where you are spread everywhere and no one is over 20%, or you are targeting spread everywhere and no one is over 20%, or you're targeting and have multiple at high shares looking for TEH values. And that's the other thing too, is like this was my first year of doing Underdog Fantasy preseason drafts. So my entire strategy, like if you watch those videos, I talk about it the whole time. My entire strategy was to completely evenly distribute and just analyze at the end of the year of what went best, like what strategy went best. I did 0 RB builds, I did RB heavy builds, I did early tight end bully builds, I didn't want to go too far in on any one player because again, it was my first year, so I'm just trying to gather as much data as possible. So that is also another reason I have such an evenly distributed exposure, just because I was intentionally doing that because I want to look back and have all of the different teams to look at and see which ones did best, so that next year when I go into it, I can, like, if I see that wide receiver early builds did the best, if 25% of those moved on and only 5% of running back heavy builds moved on, then obviously I'm going to do more wide receivers next year. So it's almost intentional too. So that's another factor here. Safe playing if you aren't running analytics at the end of year versus your draft strats, you're donating money. Yeah. I agree. And that's the thing too, is if you go super heavy and like if you go 65% on Juju and he's a bust and you draft $2,000 worth of teams in the offseason, 65% of your money is basically fucked. Unless you get someone super late that works out, like Devin Duvernay or something. But anyways, I think I'm going to branch out here and take the over on Derrick Henry at half a yard. I think he should be able to get there going up against the Kansas City Chiefs. I like the wordplay there. No. Juju, I don't think Juju's like a total bust, so I'm not putting that on you. I'm just saying, like, in preseason, you don't know. So, likely or Hurst, likely. Easy. But yeah, early on in the year, you don't know. So, like, let's say I was like, I did 65%. Let me think. 65% like Najee Harris. That's 65% of my money just wasted. Completely wasted. What the hell? I don't know what's coming up there. I had a bad feeling it is Docs 2 on your Best Ball 3 draft. What are you saying? Isaiah Likely or Kyle Pitts standard league? Likely. Okay. I guess it is like confirmed. The thing that's making me nervous is if you don't have Mark Andrews and Ravens are playing on Monday night and Mark Andrews is only doubtful. The thing that I get nervous about is if Mark Andrews makes a miraculous recovery and comes and plays on Monday and you're banking on Likely, you're screwed. If we get confirmation, which we won't, that Mark Andrews is definitely out, you can go likely. Or if you have Mark Andrews, you can go likely. But I think the safest play now that Mark Andrews is only doubtful is to go with Pitts. And the reason I say that is because that is the exact scenario I'm in a different league. I don't have the heart to pick up likely and bet on the fact that Mark Andrews isn't going to play. Because I could see a world where he does come and play still, and I don't want to take risking getting a 0. Because, I mean, I guess you could always pick up like Jawan Johnson or something if it ended up falling through, but Andrews is a tough dude. I hate to bet against his tough. Exactly. That's what I'm saying too. Pitts is definitely the play. And I could show you, it looks like Dan agrees with what we're doing here. This is my other team right here. And you can see that I have the exact same scenario. I have George Kittle on bye right here. Let me give you a little bit more than that. I have George Kittle on bye right there. So I have the option of either dropping like Melvin Gordon or something or Van Jefferson and picking up likely to play over Pitts. But I figure this is the only week that I'll get anything out of Pitts. And I don't want to bet on the fact that Mark Andrews doesn't play. If Mark Andrews was confirmed out, I probably would grab likely and play him over Pitts. But I don't like Dan said, I don't want to bet against Mark Andrews' toughness. So I'm going Pitts. And if you look, it's basically hit or miss with Pitts. 13.73, 10.93, 19. So it's not like he's the worst tight end in the league. So I think you still can play Pitts and expect 10 points, or at least hope for it. So, looks like me and Dan are saying Pitts. NFL injury. Let's see if we can get some Twitter news. Cam Akers is active. James Conner is active. DeAndre Swift is active. Game time decision, Ryan Tannehill and James Robinson. Yeah, why is it showing NBA? Fantasy doctors. Honestly, we could just go to Shefty. No problem, Jeb. If you guys are new to the channel, while you're swinging through, go ahead and like the video if you do like the stream, and then subscribe and ring the notification bell. We drop a ranking video for wide receivers and running backs on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And then we go live every Sunday morning before the games for you guys to stop by and ask any fantasy questions. So if you like the content, we're continuing to post 3 times a week for the entirety of the season, as well as the off season once this season ends. We're going to do this annually, so might be something worth dropping a subscription for so you can come through and hang out. But I didn't realize Fantasy Doctors were out of North Carolina. That's pretty cool. That's where your boy is right now, North Carolina. Hey, there's our subscription. Jeb. Thank you, sir. I don't know why that wasn't working before. That's so hype. I'll do it one more time just for fun. Shout out to Jeb. Thank you for subscribing, Jeb. Helps us out a lot. We've actually been getting a lot of traction this past week. We've been making some tweaks to our channel and improving our ranking videos for the most part, getting some overlays, and we're starting to look a little bit more professional. Still looking like amateur hour every once in a while, but we're doing better. So if we're investing our time, I appreciate you for investing in the channel as well. Dan says, yeah, if Andrews was ruled out, likely is the nut. Honestly, here's the other thing too is the other thing is that even if Andrews does play, this is kind of the wrench in the whole thing, is that even if Andrews plays, I think that the Ravens still utilize likely. I think they still utilize him like a receiver because we don't have Bateman or Demarcus Robinson. Is at the very least he's injured. So there's your argument for if you're more comfortable going likely and you're worried about Mark Andrews. Likely still has the opportunity even if Mark Andrews does play. The Ravens do roll out 2 tight end sets regularly. If you remember when we had Hayden Hurst and Mark Andrews, and Dan is saying right now that they run it, but again, the issue is that Gus Edwards also isn't going to be playing. So right now our running backs are injured Justice Hill and Kenyon Drake, which obviously aren't stud running backs. I mean, Kenyon Drake has definitely had his shining moments this year, but they're going to have to pass still. They're going to have to pass in the Superdome. New Orleans rush defense is really good. So even though they run it, and again, the reason that they run out 2 tight end sets quite a bit is because they have rushing packages all the time. And usually the tight ends leak out for the passing plays. So likely will have opportunities regardless. The RB1 is Lamar. Yeah, you're definitely right. Ravens will just ball control and lock it down. Drake is fine. Drake is fine. I agree. I don't know what happened to Mike Davis. We ran him a lot in the beginning of the year and then just stopped. But yeah, I agree. I think the Ravens figure it out. But again, if you're really stressing Pitts, you could take the shot on Likely is all I'm saying. All right, let's see what kind of pick'ems we have. Again, I think this is a pretty good play. Not sure, but it should be all right. I don't want to bet on the Bills. The Bills are too good to even... I don't want to bet on these lines. If there was an interception line, I would definitely take it for Zach Wilson. 47.5 receiving yards for Garrett Wilson. That's an easy smash for me. Can I get some confirmation on this? Garrett Wilson with no Corey Davis, no Elijah Moore, maybe no James Robinson. 47 yards, I think. Even against a good defense, I think is a good play. The 4 receptions is nuts too. Yeah, what did he get last week? Let's see how he did. I keep going up to this screen because I can't show you all of it. I just have to actually let me go to my work league so I can show you the full screen. I just my friends made some very controversial team names in my other leagues. Actually, this is still my... Here we go. All right. What are we looking at again? We're looking at... Oh, yeah, Garrett Wilson. This is the week without 7 targets, 6 receptions, 115 yards. Yeah, just because Wilson is more of a... I feel like Wilson's more of a big play guy than a volume guy. I think 47 is what I'm going to stick with. 6'4", 132, 6'8", 4. I'm going to stick with 47. All right. I think that looks pretty good. David K, I need a lot of help with almost all of my RBs on bye. I need to pick up off the waiver before 10 a.m. Whew. Cam Akers or Justice Hill? I feel like you got to go Justice Hill. I don't know, even though Cam Akers is going to be active, I don't know what his workload is going to be. So with Justice Hill, at the very least, you get not a goose egg. Whereas I can't say the same thing for Cam Akers, unfortunately. Hill Akers is the plague. Because, again, if you're not a Ravens fan, this isn't common knowledge, but Gus Edwards isn't going to play. Oh, my God. This looks so ugly, too, though. Gus Edwards isn't going to play, I'm pretty sure. Let's get some confirmation before we give you a actual answer. Doubtful. Yeah, he's doubtful with... He's doubtful with Mark Andrews. And again, the thing is, I know that the Justice Hill scores look so ugly, and I know that he could, Cam Akers could come in and give you 10 points with a touchdown. But they're going up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense, first of all, which haven't been playing very well, but their rush defense is still pretty good. We can actually pull that up here if we want. See, Buccaneers are still 4th best overall. We're going up against the New Orleans Saints rush defense, we being the Ravens, who still pretty good, but not the Bucs. I mean, I guess it's a lot closer than I originally thought. But again, I'm gonna have to agree with Dan here. Your guaranteed touches with Hill, Akers, you could get a goose egg. He could not touch the field, even if he's active. Like he could just be active, so he doesn't get so he still gets his game check. He could be a healthy scratch though. Like he could show up on the field and not play. And I don't think that's something I would want to risk. So in the bad situation that you are in, I think you have to go with Hill, even though it sucks. Is there not Isaiah Pacheco out there? Is he out there? There's got to be someone better than those two options, right? Let me see. Let me see if I can give you a deep search that potentially might help you out. I don't know for sure, but we'll try it out. This is my waiver wire. Isaiah Pacheco, is he not available for you? Even Jerick McKinnon, I don't hate. Jerick McKinnon would be a fine play if you want to pick him. I think either of those guys is better. Anyone's probably better. Yeah, I agree. Akers is Trey Sermon right now. Yeah, David, do you have someone better to play? Jaylen Warren, he might even be a better play. He'll definitely be a better play. There's got to be someone better out there. Got to be. Even JaMychal Hasty with no James Robinson. That still might be a better play because at least you have the opportunity for a big play. Got to be someone. All right. Back to our pick'ems. What are we looking at here? I'm thinking big money today. I'm thinking big money. I need this to smash. I haven't gotten a 5-leg parlay. I've actually been doing pretty good on my pick'ems lately. I've taken my account up quite a bit. I don't think you can see the number, but okay, hold on. Pause what I was talking about. David's back. He says no, he's not. I don't know who that was to. Man, that's so messy. What about DJ Dallas? Actually, no, never mind. Never mind. Dearness Johnson's on a bye. Okay, I'll say this is my final answer here. My ranking, if I rank my waiver wire, Warren is solid, likely Pacheco is solid. Pacheco is he's referring to. Yeah, so if I'm going to rank these are guys that I would start over Justice Hill and Cam Akers. I would start Caleb Huntley over Cam Akers. I would start Caleb Huntley over Cam Akers. I would start Isaiah Pacheco over Cam Akers. I would start Dontrell Hillard over Cam Akers. I would start Jerick McKinnon over Cam Akers. I don't want to get into the Ronnie Rivers area. Looking at Akers, Hill, Spencer Brown, Phillip Lindsay. Oh my God. You must be in a deep league. I don't even know who the hell Spencer Brown is. Who is Spencer Brown? Jesus Christ. Are you in a 32-team league? Jesus Christ. Spencer Brown. Oh, okay. Hold on. This actually might be something. I don't know. Spencer Brown's not a horrible play just because of the Chuba Hubbard injury. Hill, Spencer Brown, Phillip Lindsay. God damn, that's ugly. Oh, what'd I do? What's Lindsay looking like? If Zach Moss wasn't there, I'd consider Lindsay, but he's out. Dwayne Washington. What the hell? New Orleans? Nah, not Dwayne. No. We're not going him. No. Jesus Christ. Yeah, okay. All right, I see where you're at right now. I mean, Akers is definitely the higher ceiling. I see why you're looking at him. I think Spencer Brown or Justice Hill is who you're going to have to do, but Justice Hill is probably your safest bet. Unfortunately, that's crazy, but I see why you're looking at Justice Hill. I guess Akers and Hill are the better options, yeah. Dan Brown agrees with us here. I'm on the same page as you now. I'm not happy about it. But yeah, I agree. I think Hill is your safest play. If you need the ceiling, it might be Akers. Like you said, you have more than you have some bigger issues going on with your roster if those are who you're looking at. So you might need the ceiling in Cam Akers. So if you need the ceiling, go with Cam Akers. But if you just want someone to get you 5 points, hopefully 10, I think Justice Hill is your highest likelihood there. All right. Aaron Jones rushing yards. What about that? How do we feel? Aaron Jones rushing at 68.5 against the Detroit Lions, the worst. I think it's the worst running defense in the league. Third worst. Options are trades in that league, yeah. And that's the other thing, too, is like, I don't know what your record is. If you have a good record, then, kind of fuck it. Just play. I don't know how many times I can say the F word on here. Anyways, you might just have to say fuck it and play Justice Hill and hope you get a win. But if you're 3-5 or worse, you are in a must-win situation, and I would try to force a trade real quick. I don't know if I want to bet on Green Bay at all. What's your logic there? I don't know what we're looking at with Lazard. Do we know if Lazard's playing? Questionable. That's not helpful. He practiced all week and then got downgraded to questionable on Friday. So I don't really know what the deal is with him. I got to keep an eye on that because I have him in my work league that I'll have to sub him out for someone sketchy. So you don't... Yeah, so what's your reason for not wanting to bet on Green Bay? You guys like Starbucks breakfast sandwiches? I'll move this so you don't hear me chew them. Bro, this morning at 5:30, I loaded the car up with both my Huskies. Took myself over to Starbucks, got a venti salted caramel cold brew. Maybe it's a girly drink. It tastes good. And I got the bacon Gouda breakfast sandwich. Fiance got a little ice, or no, I'm sorry. It's a oat milk vanilla latte, hot. The white girl drink. What, Dan? Is that what you get? It's heat. It's heat, I will say. See? Yeah, man, we can be basic too. Listen, I agree. I don't know, I'm tired of girls gatekeeping the fun drinks. Give me the salted caramel, whatever. I want that. Tastes good. All about the cold brew life. I agree. I'm full cold coffee now. Usually, like on the work week, I'll just buy those iced coffee Starbucks jugs you can get at the grocery store, and then I'll get I think it's like a salted caramel creamer from Costco. It's like $7 for a gallon or something. I'll do that on the reg, and then like once a weekend, I'll do the salted caramel cold brew. Just no pumpkin spice. I don't hate pumpkin spice, but I never order it. I don't like it enough to order it. All right, Dan, sounds like we have same coffee preferences here. Same fantasy football preferences as well. Is what it's looking like. I got distracted with Starbucks. Let me see. I was looking up Aaron Jones' history of rushing ever since A.J. Dillon got phased out of the offense. 140, see, this is sketchy. 143, 23, 19. Okay. This is turning me off a little bit. I think you're right. Long lost brother. Hey, might be. The brother I never had. Potentially. I just got to figure out what I'm doing for lunch for the game. Hey, we're dysfunctional over here too. So, I mean, when I say I can't show you my league The league team names. Sounds like you know exactly what I'm talking about, them. Because we are dysfunctional over here. All right, you've talked me out of it. No more Aaron Jones for me. I'm on Raw. 6.5 receptions is the line. That's crazy. That's crazy. 2 passing touchdowns for Jared Goff. I don't hate that. Posted on Twitter. Elon made that the safe space for troll. Yeah, I got my fiance actually texted me something about Elon Musk this morning. Oh, never mind. Look at Herbert. Khalil Herbert or Justin Herbert? Why are these blanked out? Did they get changed? Posted on Twitter. 13.5 rushing attempts, rushing yards. Like, I might just... Should we do... Hold on. Let me pull up... No, this is a good idea. This is a good idea. I like the Eckler play here. Because there's really no one else. I mean, they have Palmer, but they're not going to... They're going to try to limit Palmer's touches as much as possible. They don't want to give him a full Alpha 1 workload. And honestly, going up against Terrell, he might not be able to handle it. I mean, when I say handle it, I mean, like, he might not be able to get... All right, what do we have? 31 rushing yards. Oh, hold on, let me pull this down so you can see. Zoom in maybe for you. That might help a little bit. There we go. All right. 31 rushing yards. 36, 173. Jesus Christ. Against the Cleveland Browns, though. Horrible rush defense. What are the Falcons looking like? Yeah, the rush defense is fine. It's their receiving game that sucks. So maybe we do... All right, let me see. 96, 47, 26. What's the line? 51. See, 51's that's a sketchy line, though. I might do receptions. How do we feel about... 7's a weird line, too, though. Like, am I forcing this? 13.5 rushing attempts. Does he go for 14? That's the thing about him is he can bounce back and forth. Like, 96 receiving yards, 173 rushing. Combined to... See, this is why we keep you around. This is why we keep you around. Dan, I think you're required to show up for every Sunday morning stream now. Yeah, I don't want to play one side, just take the total. You're right. You're right. This is why we keep you around. I don't want to... Justin Herbert, 9.5 rushing yards, though. I've bet and won off of Justin Herbert's rushing yards before in the past. What's his rush yards looking like? 22, 9, 13, negative 5, 7. What is the line? 9.5? Yeah, let's bet some. Let's go to something more substantial. Honestly, 55.5 receiving yards isn't the worst. 50 receiving yards for Gerald Everett isn't the worst. Field goals made. I don't know who that kicker is, so I'm going to pass. There's no lines for running backs. I'm going to stay away from the Falcons as much as possible. Let's see what other mismatches we have or some that we can capitalize on. 6.5 receptions for Justin Jefferson. 89.5 receiving yards. That's not horrible. Not something I want to put money on, though, I don't think. 3.5 receptions for Gibson. Or 63.5 receiving yards. Do we have something here? Can we get some commotion for Antonio Gibson? Since he's taken the starting role back, what are we looking at? We're looking at 59 receiving yards, 18 receptions, 18 receiving yards, 3 receptions, 19 rushing. It's kind of the same thing, though, as far as like betting on one side or the other. If we look at the combined total, 63.5, that looks like something that could be hit. 3.5 receptions isn't the worst thing since no JD McKissick though. No JD McKissick. Do we want to go 3.5 receptions on the over? JD McKissick is out. JD McKissick is out. Maybe we go 3.5 receptions over. 24.5 receiving yards could be good. 24.5 is a pretty low line. Look at Gibson with Heineke. What's all over the place? Dan, how are we feeling about receiving yards or receptions? Give me something like that. Because honestly, drop in the chat right now how we're feeling about this Gibson line. Drop in the chat how we're feeling about this Gibson line. I like the combined yards there too. Okay. Yeah, I don't hate the combine either. Because like I was looking at here, we have, it's kind of the same thing as Eckler. We have 59 rush, 18 receiving, 19 rush, 58 receiving. The only thing here is that JD McKissick is out. That's the only thing. Not sure about the 3.5 receptions. Yeah, betting on receiving volume is always kind of... I've always bet on, or early on, I bet on running back receiving volume, like receptions, and it rarely works out, I will say. I'm kind of learning what does work and what doesn't. Something that pretty much always works out for me is attempted or pass attempts for quarterbacks. I've always won those. Those are usually pretty easy to guess. Clutch follower 2. Hey, be clutch and give me the follow. Hold on, let me answer your question first. I got ahead of myself. Chris Olave or Josh Palmer flex? Gotta go Chris Olave. Gotta go Chris Olave just because we've seen that situation and we know that he can be productive. He gets the volume. We know that Michael Thomas is out. I don't know what Jarvis Landry is right now. Dan Brown is going the opposite, which, you know, if you don't know, Dan Brown is a respected opinion in this channel as well. So the argument for Palmer is that they're going up against the Falcons and he's the wide receiver 1. But personally, I'm not sitting Chris Olave for Palmer. I agree. Kamara's going to keep getting volume, but there's enough volume for both. There's enough volume for both. Let's go through. Let's pull this up and let me just... I understand Palmer's in a very nice situation this week. I totally get that. But look at these scores. This is a rookie, by the way. This is a rookie, by the way, who has only been under double digits one time. Your floor is set at 10 points with Chris Olave. You hate Dalton, which I agree that Dalton sucks, but you can't deny Dalton was a quarterback versus Arizona giving him 14 targets and 100 yards. If he gets a touchdown that game, he's in the 25-point category. So I think just based off of the predictability and the history, Chris Olave's got to be the choice here. I mean, he's the best rookie prospect this year at the wide receiver position that we've seen. I know that it could be Drake London, but if you're not getting volume, you're not the best. You can't be. Chris Olave has been the best rookie wide receiver this year, and I can't bench him for Josh Palmer. Can't do it. But we are liking the combined yards for Gibson. That's kind of my least favorite of these lines right now, though. 47.5 rushing or receiving for Garrett Wilson. Such a gambler. I just like Palmer. Let's go. Yeah, I mean, I think both are fine, to be honest with you. I don't think you're in a you'll probably be fine either way, but you got to bet on the name. You got to bet on Chris Olave and the talent here. There's a reason Chris Olave was a first-round drafted wide receiver and Palmer wasn't. If you're in this channel right now, go ahead in the chat and drop which of these lines you like the least while we look for our fifth leg. I'm just going to skip all the way over these guys. I don't want anything to do with them. Why? Like, does anyone know why these are grayed out? I think it's because the lines have changed. Such gambler facts. Sounds like Dan's starting to agree with us. But again, I don't think you're in a horrible situation one way or the other. All right, let's see if it's because the lines changed. Go back to Burrow. Is it still there? Hey, Clutch follower. Shout out to you for the subscription. We're going to play that back one more time. Wait. Let's go. Let's go. Too much action. Hey, I appreciate the follow, Clutch follower. Just if you're not aware, we go live every Sunday before the game to answer any questions that you may have and go over injuries while we set some of our pick'ems and drafts. And then every Tuesday and Wednesday, we have wide receiver and running back ranking videos that are a weekly thing. And this is a channel that will be going for years to come. So I appreciate the support early on. David coming in. Okay, update on my running back problem. Traded Tua for Pacheco. I have Allen, so Tua was a trade chip. I do like the ability to start Pacheco over Hill. I do like that. And Pacheco has very high upside rest of the season. I think you probably could have got. I think you could have gotten more for Tua though. I think you could have gotten Pacheco and a piece. But again, for this week, if you're in a must-win situation, it is nice to have Pacheco over Hill. So if that was the only trade you had on the table, I don't blame you for taking it. I just would have liked to see you get a little bit more for Tua. But again, so I don't know your league. Sometimes, like in my one very serious league, if you don't overpay, you're not getting a trade done. People are just afraid of trades, and same with my work league. Like if you're in a league that people are terrified of trading, and you're in a must-win situation, and you don't want to start Justice Hill, I could see why you do the trade. I could see it. Yeah, I think it was because the line's updated. That's why. Since we refreshed. I mean, you got your buy out the way already with Allen. Pacheco is rising. Hope the value's out for you. I agree. I would have wanted 2 players for Tua with Pacheco. Yeah, and that's the thing is like, is Waller out? Let me see. If Waller is out, you could always check your waiver for Likely. Likely's going to be a good play this week. What was I saying though? But yeah, I mean, it's kind of like early in the season if you traded like Russell Wilson for Kenneth Walker. That looked like a really bad trade early on, but now obviously the Kenneth Walker side won. So I mean, that could be like Dan just said, Pacheco could end up as a season winner and popping off late in the season. He's a rookie, so it's taken him some time to get up to speed. He went through 8 games, got promoted to starter. He's on a very good offense. So I mean, the Pacheco trade, regardless of not getting anyone else, could work anyways. So yeah, I definitely don't hate it, especially if you're in a must-win situation. Let me check Waller real quick, but thank you, David, for the follow. I appreciate it. We'll play that back as well. Yeah, I appreciate the subscription, everybody. Again, this channel, we go live every Sunday, rankings Tuesday and Thursday, and this is not the last year. This is just the first year that we're doing this. We're finally getting set up. We have more of our sound deadening cubes. I don't know if you guys can hear an echo, but I'm trying to correct that, and we're continuing to upgrade, so invest in the channel early is much appreciated. Thank you very much. All right, Waller's who I'm looking at right here. Questionable. What time's he play? God, this is so sad. Hamstring is a true game time decision. Yeah, so it looks like you're going to need a backup option. I don't know what your waiver wire is looking like, but picking up Likely on the Ravens might be a good play for you. Like, you could plan on playing Waller if he does play, and then if Waller doesn't play, then you could pick up Likely. I mean, the good news is that Waller is a 1 o'clock. He's a 1 o'clock game. So you'll know before the 4 o'clock games if you have Waller. And we can go through my waiver wire right now and look at the 4 o'clock games. If Taysom Hill is on the waiver wire, you could pick him up after Waller. Like you have options to pick up, is my point. If Waller is out. So what I would say is just wait till your game time decision. And if Waller plays, play him. If he doesn't play, just pick someone up. You'll be all right. Cole Hardman, Eno Benjamin, Zay Jones, DeAndre Carter, or Jarvis Landry pick 2. Is Jarvis Landry playing? I'm assuming he is. Questionable. Okay. Cole Hardman, Eno Benjamin. I think James Conner's playing too. Actually, no, we got that report on Twitter. What does this say? Hopeful. Yeah, if we pull this Twitter up right here, we see from Fantasy Doctors, where did it go? I don't know, but we got confirmation that Connor is going to be playing. Just on what role? Hardman, Benjamin, Zay Jones, DeAndre Carter. So if we run through these, Hardman is guaranteed playing, so you could pick him. Eno Benjamin with Connor coming back is a scary play as far as volume goes. Although they are going up against Seattle, so you still might have opportunity. So Eno Benjamin is kind of a fringe play. Zay Jones is going to be an easy play just because he's guaranteed to get touches. Carter might be injured, and then Jarvis Landry's coming off injury. So I think the safe play here is go Mecole Hardman and Zay Jones, just like Dan said. But if you wanted to replace Eno Benjamin in for Zay Jones, I'm not mad at that either. How safe is Allen Robinson? Majority of my team is hurt, so I had to put him in my flex. I think he's fine. I think he's fine with this Cooper Kupp injury kind of lurking in the background. You got to remember, we do have Van Jefferson coming back, but if I'm not mistaken, Allen Robinson has been kind of stepping it up as of late. 7 targets, 6, 5, 6. So yeah, I don't hate Allen Robinson this week going up against the Buccaneers defense, who are not very good through the air. They'll have to pass it the entire game. I don't hate Allen Robinson. And it sounds like you don't really have another choice. Like I wouldn't go and pick up. Let's see. Like I wouldn't want to play any of these guys over Allen Robinson. I wouldn't do Robert Woods. I wouldn't do Gallup. I wouldn't do Hardman. Yeah, I'm okay with Robinson here. No problem, bro. No problem. Appreciate you for stopping by. And again, I'll give the pitch as we always do. We do ranked videos Tuesday and Wednesday for running backs, wide receivers. Then we kind of clean that up on Sunday morning, as you see here. So if you like the channel, go ahead and subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when we do go live, and like the video. If you do like the video, it helps us out a lot. We're a starting channel, so we're just getting started and we're going to continue to improve. So again, appreciate the early support. But yeah, Robinson's fine, honestly. Majority of my team is hurt, so I'm trying to think of who you had that's hurt now. I'm trying to think of the big guys that are hurt. But yeah, Robinson's okay. And I know Cooper Kupp is like a game time decision and he's probably going to play. But even if Cooper Kupp does play, he could just be a decoy and be a limited participation. If you have the best wide receiver in the entire NFL and that guy's hurt and he's like on the fringe of playing or not, if you're the coach, you're going to him and saying, please, like, can you just go out and run a route? Can you run routes? Because at the very least, you can draw the number one cornerback and be a distraction. Your Cooper Kupp is probably the most distracting player you can put in an offense, even if he's doing nothing. So even though Cooper Kupp's going to play, I still like Allen Robinson as the wide receiver 1 probably this week. Unless you have Higbee. Higbee might be the number 1 option. Because I just don't... I'd be shocked if Cooper Kupp is like full health. I think it's in the coaching staff's best interest to be optimistic about Cooper Kupp in the media than it is to be pessimistic. To sell it to the other teams that he's fine. So I like Allen Robinson. Again, drop in the chat right now if you're still in here how you feel or what line is your least favorite. If we need to drop one off. I don't hate this T. Higgins line here, but I don't think I like it enough to pick it. We need one more. Evan McPherson, no thank you. 2 passing touchdowns for Derek Carr. I don't hate that. I could definitely see him getting the work, but then again, you have Josh Jacobs. I really don't. Honestly, I don't want anything to do with this Raiders offense. In the flex, you're probably safe with Robinson. If you need a ceiling, you probably have to gamble. That's probably fair. But honestly, even Allen Robinson gives you a decent ceiling. Like I would say Allen Robinson's ceiling is probably 20 points. I mean, if you want to argue that McCole Hardman's ceiling is higher, that's probably fair. Just because of the offense as a whole. But even there, Allen Robinson's fine in my opinion. Travis Etienne, 22 receiving yards? What? Did he have that little work in the receiving game last week? Or is that still skewed from James Robinson? Oh, wow. I am shocked how little he's being used in the receiving game. 3 receptions for 6 yards. It's kind of crazy. It looks juicy right off the bat, but look at this. Tell me this looks juicy. I mean, 22.5 is the line, right? Oops. What'd I do? 22.5 is the line, and he's gotten over that 4 times in 8 games? Half the times? It's not as exciting as I originally thought. 3 receptions, a rushing touch. I don't like betting on touchdowns at all. Rushing attempts, 17.5. What does the Raiders defense against running backs look like? Very bad. Very bad. Okay, what do we feel about the rushing attempts or yards? Or do we want to go combine yards again? I don't know. It's kind of a messy line, to be honest. I don't love it. He hasn't broke it once, has he? No, he's broke it 4 times. I don't know what if they are getting trash. You mean as far as his rushing total goes? I don't think the Jags get trashed by the Raiders, though. But yeah, look. Even in the past 2 weeks where he popped off, he has 5 and 6 receiving yards. I can't go receiving yards. Yeah, I might just skip over that. I don't really love it in either direction. 56.5 rushing yards for Deion Jackson. I don't really want to bet on Deion Jackson either, to be honest, against the second best rushing defense in the entire league. I know he had a massive boom game last time he was a starter, but that was because he had Matt Ryan dumping the ball down to him 10 times. Yeah, I don't want to bet on the Colts either. Who knows? The NFL and Carr had a terrible game last week. Adams looks pissed. Could go score 30 today. Right, which is exactly why I drafted him in my in my draft earlier. I think Devontae Adams is set for a big game. I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. A rushing touchdown for Ramondre Stevenson. How is the Colts rushing defense? Bad? Like, it looked like Harris is sick. What about these Ramondre Stevenson lines? I mean, it's not like he's been bad in the past, what? I traded away Ramondre Stevenson earlier this year for George Kittle, which I traded him away like right here. And and to be fair, I've been undefeated since I've traded him away because I had Pitts, I needed Kittle, kind of a mutual thing. I also have Walker and ETN in that league, so I'm okay at running back. I had Breece Hall. I was set at running back until Breece Hall decided to kick the bucket for me. Obviously, that's more of a downside to me than it is to Breece Hall himself. It's honestly pretty selfish of him. But, I mean, this hurts looking back at. He's been going crazy. 71, 39, 76. He's been really involved in the passing game, though. Which I don't think I want to do a combined yards for him. I don't really like that. Rushing touchdowns look pretty frequent for him. If anything, I'd like the lowers on Stevenson. Really? All right, I'm going to skip Steven then. I'm going to just skip over him. Let's see if we can find something else. Tua passing yards, Tua rushing yards. No, no, no. No thanks. All right, I got to get this set. Oh, wait, what did I do? Justin Fields. Justin Fields. What are we looking like, sir? God, he's been going crazy. Carries 14 and 8. 14, 12, 8. What are we feeling about the rush attempts for Justin Fields? I kind of like that. Rush attempts for Justin Fields. Honestly, just running in general. Fields 22.5 total yards. Yeah, it's because he passes the ball 20 times a game and gets 150 yards. Here, I'm just gonna show you. I don't know why I'm doing this up here. Look at this. This is why he gets no passing volume. The only thing that makes me nervous is that they have Claypool. They have Claypool this week, and I don't know if they like try to pull some shit where they start trying to throw the ball all over the place. That's the only thing that makes me nervous. 8.5 seems high. I mean, these past 3 weeks, they've been figuring their offense out, and it's been 12, 14, 8. But yeah, I probably like the yardage more. 51.5 for yardage, for rushing yardage. 11 TDs as a rookie. Who? $225. Is that really that low? Nah, not really. Yeah, Claypool should be good. He's just stupid. He could. I mean, he could. I don't know. I'm not excited. I don't like Claypool at all. It's hard to be excited about him. Herbert, 46.5 total yards. Yeah, I mean, I've said it. I think that Herbert becomes a starter in this offense. They're going to need David Montgomery for the passing game because Herbert doesn't catch passes at all. But Herbert looks so much like he just looks so much better than Montgomery. Kenneth Walker has had a rushing touchdown every game he's started. But I don't want to try my luck with that anymore. Like, these field goals, honestly, are looking pretty good, too. I know it's like a boring bet to make, but the field goals usually work out for me. Oh, wait, I got to go to a different league. Go away. Go away. What am I doing? Myers? Wait. Field goals. Let's see. 3, 2, 4, 2, 2, 3, 0, 1. Like, tell me why I shouldn't just do Jason Myers 2 field goals. Montgomery looks like an actor playing running back for real. What do the Cards players look like? Let's see. 85.5, DeAndre Hopkins. 4.5 receptions for Rondale Moore. That's honestly not too bad. You have field goals as well. You see Kyler Murray. What about Kyler Murray pass attempts? Let's see what that looks like. Kyler Murray pass attempts, ESPN. I wish they showed this on fantasy. All right, what's attempts look like? 44, 29, 37, 42, 32. What's the line? 37. 37? Yeah, I don't like that. Don't like it. What's his Russian? 36, 30, 142, 30. Hey, Chris, I was hoping he'd hop in here before I got off. I was about to get off. Hopkins has 7 receptions. He has 150 yards. I mean, they have Hopkins with 77 yards on 7 receptions. I see 85.5 yards. I'm losing you, damn. What do you mean? Hopkins might be way overhyped right now. I like Samuel. What's Samuel? Curtis Samuel? Oh, okay. I see. I've got Curtis Samuel over 47 receiving. I see. I'm pretty sure Curtis Samuel was even lower than that on here. Am I wrong? If I do Curtis Samuel, I'm taking Antonio Gibson out. Curtis Samuel, 49.5. What has he been doing? Let's see. Oops. I like Gibson better. Although I will say, J.D. McKissick being out, I think that Curtis Samuel could even step into that role. To be honest with you, so 49.5. Yeah, he's like mid 40s. I like Samuel too. Curtis Samuel. His cornerback matchup is really good. Yeah, you got him at 47. What about 49.5? He needs 50 yards. The question is, do you like Samuel 40 over 49.5 more than Antonio Gibson combined yards? Which one do you like more? That's the question here. Chris says yes. They have Hopkins catch total at 7 for the split and then 85 yards. If Hopkins has 7 catches today, which seems likely unless Ertz has like 10 plus targets, he goes for at least 100. The issue is that the Seahawks are a really good passing defense. And I don't think that he's played that good of a defense yet since he's been back. I know he's been doing really good since, but I could see that being why the line is so low. Who's he played? Minnesota and New Orleans. Which this was a New Orleans defense without Marshawn Lattimore. What is the direct game correlation? What is their direct game correlations? Whose? I'm going to keep looking. I like this. Here, Chris, tell me how you feel about this Garrett Wilson line. 47.5 with no Corey Davis and no Elijah Moore. And a game script that they're going to have to pass. Because I feel like D-Hop has torched the Seahawks. Let's see. Can we do like D-Hop? Let's do this. Wide receiver stats, fantasy pros, 2021. There we go. Where's Hop? 2021. Where's D-Hop? All right, this will be way easier. DeAndre Hopkins. Game log. 21 PPR. Let's see. Didn't play Seattle a second time last year. He didn't play Seattle at all last year. Let's see. Seattle, he had a wide receiver 7 finish and a wide receiver 42 finish. But that, I mean, 2 years ago is a completely different team. Doesn't help us out a lot. I'm not touching the Jets-Bills game. Why not? I mean, 47.5 with no other receivers in the entire offense. Like, I feel like sounds good, no? I'm really trying to be careful here because I really want to utilize this Derrick Henry half a yard. Because the Bills are really good. I mean, the Bills are really good, but that means that they're going to be up and they're going to need to be passing. And if their only receiver in a game script that they need to be passing is Garrett Wilson, how's he not go over 50 yards? That's the way I'm looking at it. That's the way I'm looking at it. The pass attempts for Tom Brady are always so good to me. I've bet on that before. I mean, I've never lost on those. What do we got here? All right, let's see. 44, 49, 40, 52, 52. Like, how do I not bet on the over? 44, 49, 40, 52, 52, 42, 34, 27. He's only not gone over 39 twice. I can't advise on this. LOL, I don't play my teams. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. But that's not even betting on like him doing good or bad. That's just betting on the offense as a whole. Because I think that Tom Brady's chasing his whose overall yard mark is it? I like the overs. Versus the Rams too. Can't do it. I'm so biased. I think they're gonna have 400 points a game. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I'd probably think the same thing if my Ravens weren't beat the shit. I'm like frustrated with the Ravens at this point, so I don't have a hard time shitting on them. But I mean, that's a bias in its own regard too. So I try to not bet on the Ravens if I can help it. Oh, Ravens. What should I bet on? All right. I gotta chill. Okay. So the only questions here for me are, do we want to replace either Jason Myers or Antonio Gibson with a Chris Godwin yardage over or a Curtis Samuel yardage over? What is the safest play? I need your guys' help here. Because if we win this 5-leg parlay with your guys' help, we're going to have to figure something out. We're going to have to figure something out if we collectively put this together. Like, I don't know if we do just head-to-heads with you two and just do that on stream next Sunday morning. That could be fun if we end up winning this. Gibson is a good bet. J.D. McKissick out. He's a new starter. I agree. Me and Dan were thinking the same thing. Kamara, 60 rushing. Like you said, I can't bet on the... I really don't want to bet on the Ravens game. You're probably right, but I don't want to bet on the Ravens game. I got Ellinger under 203. I'm such a fan first. Okay. Is this it? The only two options are replacing, which this is more of a question for Chris because Dan can't give us his opinion. But do we want to replace one of these two with 66.5 receiving yards over for Chris Godwin? I mean, 2 field goals is so easy, though. Yeah, this is a special line. If you see the star, the only reason this is here is a special line. I got it for using some YouTubers. I think it was Fantasy Flocks. I think I used his promo when I first signed up like 2 years ago. And I think this is the line for that. So, I mean, this is a gimme. That's what I'm saying is I want to put a good amount on the Myers is a decent bet. I feel like that too. I mean, every time I've bet on the over for a kicker, I've got it. Because Myers has had over 1 field goal every game except for the first 2. Past 6 games, he's had over 2 field goals. I like Godwin too. It's just, do we want to replace Tom Brady for Godwin? We could do that. We could do this instead. What are we thinking? I'm gonna defer to you guys. He's my kicker in 2 leagues. I try. Actually, let me reach out to the Myers. Tell me if you guys like this trade. I offered Melvin Gordon for Jason Myers, the kicker. I mean, because I know it sounds ridiculous, but I think Melvin Gordon is useless. So if I can get the best kicker so far in the league, I'm going to text him now. If I can get one of the better, I'm trying to get either Daniel Carlson or Jason Myers for Melvin Gordon. Just get something for him. Let's see if I can pressure him into this. How do you guys feel about that? What are we saying here? My concern is you like Fournette and you like Brady at 40 attempts. But I think Fournette's value is only through dump-offs, which are all pass attempts. I don't think Fournette brings almost any value to the running game. I'm not doing anything with Tom Brady. Okay. How are both likely? If Fournette is going to have big game, Brady throws like 34 times and is efficient. Yeah, anything for Gordon. I just like Gabe Davis for Eagles D in a league. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that's what I was betting on is 10 of the 40 attempts being to Leonard Fournette with their bad offensive line right now. But I mean, that being said, I you know the trade I just made, Chris. Let me fill Chris in real quick because this is a big blockbuster trade for me. We traded this morning. I'll get your take on it. But we traded on this team. We just got Kelsey and Godwin. And we gave up CeeDee Lamb, DeAndre Swift, and Tyler Higbee. That's the trade we went with. And you got to remember. We got to remember that I gave up Swift, but I have Eckler, Walker, and Jonathan Taylor. Our O-line is horrendous, and our schemes and concepts have regressed tremendously. I agree. The new head coach is looking bad. But so is Tom Brady. So yeah, Chris, what's your take on that trade? Chris Godwin and Kelsey over CD and Swift, basically. Felipe, how we doing? Likely or Taysom Hill? Likely. I like likely. I think Taysom Hill is probably your higher ceiling, to be honest with you. But the problem with Taysom Hill is he's not like he's not guaranteed touches on a weekly basis. And we pretty much have gotten confirmation that likely is going to be starting. So, and also you got to remember the Ravens have no Rashad Bateman, no Gus Edwards, no Mark Andrews, and likely look good. So, and again, if you look in the chat right now, Dan is saying the same thing as we are. Hill has a floor of 0, whereas likely you're guaranteed at least some points. Who subscribed? Be growing. Shout out to you, bro. I appreciate that. We're going to play that one more time. Appreciate you. I'll give you the rundown. We do rankings every Tuesday and Wednesday, and then we go live on Sunday, as we are now, to fill in some of our bets and then straighten out any injury implications that happen in between Wednesday and Sunday. So thank you for subscribing. Hit the notification bell if you would like to know when we go live, and then hit like the video if you do like the video. But this is a new channel, started this year, and we're going to do this annually, preseason and during the season. So I appreciate you for investing in the channel early. What do we got? PPR or Juju? Juju or A-Rob? Juju, I agree. Listen to Dan. Juju is definitely the way to this week. Even though Cooper Kupp might not be fully healthy, Juju definitely is fully healthy, and he's in what should be a good matchup. Oh, the line changed. Oh, that hurts. I should have stopped messing around. Oh, man. That's rough. What's the new line? It was at 113.5. 113.5. It's at 116.5 now. Oh, my God. What do we do? Ingram. Oh, Ingram. Hill or likely for tight end. Definitely Ingram or likely. I think Ingram is probably your safest play, but I think likely is the best play here. Likely is what I would do. Can I still start Tom Brady, or should I use either Goff or Heineke? Who's Goff playing? Packers, Heineke. Definitely not Heineke. Definitely not Heineke. Yeah, I think you still go Brady here. Still go Brady. I've got Eckler over 107. I know, Dan. I know. What did I do? Golf is your second bet. Golf is definitely your second bet. I'm going against Dan, but I'm going against Dan and Chris here. I think Golf is your second bet, but Tom Brady is who you should be starting. Olave or Amon-Ra? Amon-Ra for sure. I'm going Amon-Ra there. I think I answered all these. Ask again if I didn't answer your question. But yeah, I would go likely. Legacy, I'm talking to you. I would go likely, and I would go Amon-Ra. And then Felipe, I'd go Tom Brady. One more since I'm still at work. Ingram or likely? Chat, Dan and Chris can give you their preferences, their respected opinions on this channel, but I'm going likely. I'm going likely. If the early pick'ems are so much better lines, I know. I get on these early. You guys are scaring me. Now I feel like I should just not. I don't want to go Eckler now. Oh, this made it so much harder. Nah, you're Gucci. You want me to go 117 on You want me to go 117 on Eckler? That's a big line, my friend. That's a big line. 117. Last game he got over 120. Game before that, he did not get there against Denver. Definitely got there against Cleveland. Did not get there against Houston. I mean, I know it's a very different situation this week, but 117 is a lot. Walker or Olave today? Kenneth Walker, I'm assuming, is the question. Olave. We had that picked. I thought at like 108. No, it was 113.5 when we had it picked. It was 113.5. Yeah, Legacy. I think I'm going Olave as a safer play. Hold on. Let me look at the Arizona Cardinals run defense before I lock that in. Carolina Cardinal run defense. Yeah. I don't know. That's a toss-up. I honestly think you're fine with both. I think their floor is the same at 10 points. I think the ceiling is uncapped for both of them. So I'm going to leave that up to personal preference. I think it's dead even. I think you're right in the same range. Walker probably has a better floor, a more reliable floor, but I think it's a toss-up here. Okay. We got to figure out this last leg before I lose it again. Before I lose these lines again. Falcons, there are no receivers. We had that picked, I thought. Okay. Are we at 113? If so, that's still fine. It raised 4 points. No. It was at 113.5, and we just raised to 116.5. It's whichever gets touchdowns, they are equal. Yeah, I agree with Dan on that Walker question, Legacy. My question is, do we want to force? Is it worth forcing that line? Is my question, or do we just completely audible and take the over on 75.5 for Devontae? I think we might just take the over for 75.5 Devontae. Screw the Eckler line altogether. Walker is safe. Chris, on your question, Legacy, Dan says whichever gets TD, they're equal, and then Chris says Walker is safe. Olave if you need more potential points, which I think is true, but slightly. Again, I think in a vacuum, 10 points is your floor for both, and 40 points is your ceiling for both. So, again, personal preference. We're at the peak. Adams. Chris says Adams. Eckler is a bust now. I don't think that's what you meant. All right, Dan. Adams or Eckler? Are we agreeing on Adams here? Because this involves you guys at this point. You guys are fully involved in this bet. Do you guys do insurance? Do you guys ever do insurance? Or should I just throw it in? I actually used to pre-08. And then in like 16. I'm confused. Adams is easy. That cornerback matchup is great. Dan, I'm confused what you're saying. I used to pre-08 and then in like 16. Did you just like chug a handle of Tito's or something? Like life and health insurance is in no doubt. Yeah, I think Dan got involved, got to consuming the liquor early today. I'm not. He was making sense, and then now he's talking about health insurance. Okay, all right. I forgot I asked you about insurance. All right, we're in. Stop fucking around. Okay, so this is our picks right here. Standard scoring start. Start to Lazard, Juju, Boyd, Rondale Moore, Garrett Wilson. Don't ensure it's a trap. Standard scoring, PPR is not in the question, so Rondale Moore is out for me. He's a PPR machine. Lazard is still questionable, so I'm gonna not pick him just because I don't know what's gonna happen between now and 1 o'clock. So I think if Lazard ends up playing, then yes, I would like Lazard the most out of all these guys. But as of right now, he's questionable. So I'm going to leave him out of the equation and I'll pick 2. And I'm definitely going to go Juju if Lazard's not playing. If Lazard is playing, do Lazard and Juju. If Lazard is not playing, do Juju. I like Garrett Wilson. I know Dan and Chris probably won't agree with me here, but I do like Garrett Wilson. I think Garrett Wilson and Tyler Boyd are kind of boom bust players, though, so you could take your shot on either. I think they're both in really good situations. Tyler Boyd without Jamar Chase looks good, and then Garrett Wilson without Corey Davis or Elijah Moore looks good. Even in the tough matchup, they're going to have to funnel the ball to him. But I do think it's kind of a shot. I think they're both very low floor, very high ceiling players. So I would say if Lazard does not play, do Juju, and then your preference of Tyler Boyd and Garrett Wilson. I prefer Garrett. Dan prefers Tyler Boyd. But if Lazard does play, then do Lazard and Juju. Final answer. And that's a good point by Dan down there that Boyd has a lot better of a chance of scoring in a standard league. So I think he's right. I think Tyler Boyd has a lot better of a chance of scoring because the offense is not how do I say this nicely? Fucking garbage. Like the New York Jets offense is. But I do think Garrett Wilson gets more yardage. So yeah, I'm gonna switch. I'll go Tyler Boyd. He's a safer play and has a higher ceiling. But again, if Lazard plays, do Lazard and Juju. Michael. I know that was a very roundabout way of getting to the answer, but yeah. Lazard and Juju if Lazard plays, Juju and Boyd if he doesn't. No problem, Michael. All right, I gotta wrap this up because I have to get some things done. I'm trying to make that kicker trade. I know it's boring. I'm just itching to trade, to be honest with you. But yeah. So I hope everyone has a great week 9. I hope the fantasy gods are in your favor. Just to go over what we did one last time, if you're still sticking around. We go to live pick'ems. This is our live pick'em right here. We have Derrick Henry half a yard over. Receiving yards for Godwin over. We have Jason Myers field goals over. Gibson on the over total yards. And then Adams on the over for receiving yards. And then our draft. Where is it? Our draft for this week is going to be Justin Herbert at quarterback, sacked with Austin Eckler. Leonard Fournette in the flex. Devontae Adams, Amon-Ra St. Brown. And then Zach Ertz as our tight end. So that is what we did on this morning's stream. Good luck to everyone. Final closeout. Chris Davis says Boyd cornerback matchup is good, so that's for you, Michael. Dan says good luck, brother. Hope you're still in playoff contentions on your main and puppy tourneys. Wifey and I are both still placing. We are. We're looking good. We have quite a few actually that are still in the runnings for first place. So I hope the same for you guys. I hope that still is true after week 9. Got Aaron Jones in all my DK lineups. I love Aaron Jones this week. I'm sure he's probably pretty cheap, too. And then Dan says he agrees. So, all right. Thank you, everyone, for coming out. Good luck on week 9. Hopefully, everyone's looking good in their redraft and best ball formats. And I'll see you guys Tuesday.